What is up, people? I've got a juicy video for you guys here today. It's by this channel called AKTK right here. Are Hindu scriptures fake and unscientific? What scientists say about it, and analysis by AKTK. Now I have no idea what AKTK stands for. I do watch this channel. Aaj ki taza khabaro, it's written there in the description. I just noticed. I generally don't watch this entire genre of content, but someone sent it to me and I thought I might as well watch and look at what he's saying. Now this is a pretty old video, 2 years ago. Okay, it was uploaded in June 21. So yeah, I think I came in the scene, or I became popular only after this point. I'm pretty sure I've debunked most of the things being said in this video, but let's look at them and see if we've seen these claims before, and let's debunk them one by one. One thing before we start with the video is I want to say something about this title. This title is immediately trying to strawman anyone who says they're unscientific by saying that people say Hindu scriptures are fake. Unscientific, yes, but fake? What does fake mean? Scriptures are not original? Like, of course they're not fake. Of course they're scriptures. The claims of science in them are fake. That makes them unscientific. But we don't say the scriptures are fake. So I just want to point out that strawman right in the title. I will mark that as a strawman. I'm sure we'll find a lot of strawmans in the video itself. And I will mark strawman right away. And let's watch the video.
स्क्रिप्चर्स बड़े ही साइंटिफिक हैं. अच्छा, साइंटिफिक. अबे साइंस अलग होती है, मिथ अलग होते हैं. स्क्रिप्चर्स मिथ है और माइथोलॉजी को साइंस से अलग रखना चाहिए. साइंस की बात करते हैं ये लोग. अरे
I like how these channels try to portray any criticism or critics as so evil, and they try and ridicule these guys all the time. I like what they do. You know that you can criticize someone without ridiculing them, right?
अरे भाई, मॉडर्न साइंस और वैदिक साइंस दोनों अलग अलग चीज है. हाँ, अब तू तो गोबर साइंस भी निकाल देगा. भक्त कहीं का. आप सभी ने कुछ इसी तरीके का वार्तालाप अपने लिब्रांडो दोस्तों के साथ एक्सपीरियंस किया होगा जब भी आप उनके साथ.
I think it's pretty obvious when you use words like librando dost. Who exactly is trying to ridicule whom? But let's continue.
कुछ ऐसा कॉन्वर्सेशन करते होंगे, लेकिन क्या आपके लिब्रांडो दोस्त ये बात कार्ल सागन, जो कि दुनिया के सबसे बड़े एस्ट्रोफिजिसिस्ट रहे हैं, उनको बोल सकते हैं? दुनिया हमारे
We've seen the Carl Sagan claim. I made a video about it on my main channel also. Main channel link is below.
ग्रंथों को पढ़ कर ना जाने क्या क्या पेटेंट करा रही है. हम अपने ग्रंथों को गाली पे गालियां दिए जा रहे हैं. तो आज की इस वीडियो में हम जानेंगे कि दुनिया के साइंटिस्ट भारतीय स्क्रिप्चर्स के बारे में क्या सोचते हैं. साथ ही साथ क्या हमारे जो स्क्रिप्चर्स हैं वो साइंटिफिक हैं या नहीं हैं. आप हमारे साथ बने रहिए, देखते रहिए आज की ताजा खबर.
His name is Fritjof Capra. Fritjof Capra is teaching physics in the New York University. Now what happens, this whole thing inside, you think, oh, science is very great. Let me tell you a small, quick story. 1907, J.J. Thomson gets the Nobel Prize, who was the director of the Cavendish Institute of Physics in Cambridge. Nobel Prize for saying that electrons are particles.
This exact claim by B.M. Hegde himself, I made a video about it. It's called The Pseudoscience of the Atom. Something about Dr. Pseudoscience and Captain Pseudoscience. The Sadhguru also featured in that video. This exact claim by him, I've debunked it, but let's watch.
Fine, Nobel Prize. 1937, his own son, P.J. Thomson, gets the Nobel Prize 30 years later for saying that they are waves. Nobel Prize. 1932, Erwin Schrödinger says they are wavicles. They are neither waves nor particles. Nobel Prize. And 1925, who got the Nobel Prize in 1956, Werner Heisenberg said, you just don't know what an electron is.
Just notice that, okay? None of these scientists actually contradicted each other. J.J. Thomson discovered the properties of the electron and he assumed they were particles. But in 1937, his son G.J. Thomson, I think his son's actual name is G.B. Thomson, And B.M. Hegde gets it wrong in this clip. But the fact is, he didn't say his dad was wrong. He said, hey, these are wave-like properties that the electron has. So it has particle-like properties and it has wave-like properties. Now, the other two people he talked about, Schrodinger and Heisenberg, they came before even G.B. Thomson. They came before him. Heisenberg came even before that. So what is the point of someone who comes before the person who claims they're waves coming and saying that they're wavicles? That doesn't make sense, right? This story has some gutbud in it, right? The story doesn't seem to make sense, right? That's why the way he narrates it, he has changed the order of what he's saying when to make it sound like the scientists don't know what they're doing. That is not the case at all. For more details, I don't want to go into a longer elaboration here. For more details, go to my main channel and check out that video I mentioned.
Because he just can't see it. How do I see Arun? When I look at Arun, a few photons from his body eject out and hit my retina, and then I know Arun is there.
By the way, I should mark blatant lie for what he just said. That's not how the events occurred. And plus, it's a straw man. Okay, let's go back.
Now, if one photon leaves an electron, the electron becomes non-electron.
What?
This is described in the scriptures thousands of years ago. What did it say? Asino vrajati duram, shayano jati sarvata. You know, you have an electron which you can't see. And so beautifully said in the Gita, which is from the Upanishad, which says, Bahir antas chabhutanam. It is inside and outside of everything. Charam acharamevacha. It keeps moving. You're all, moving leptoquarks, but you look solid. It's Maya. Charam acharamevacha. It moves but looks
God, he's made a false equivalence between what's there in the scripture and he's related that to the electron. How? We didn't even know all this Maya, all these things like solid matter is an illusion, things like that. There was no knowledge of that before the electron was discovered. How are you saying that scriptures are talking about exactly that? I will call this a false equivalence. Oh, we might actually get a bingo. Let's see.
Sukshmavatet avijnayam. So this is the beauty of it. It is so subtle that no vijnana can ever look at the electron. That's the beauty.
ये बताए कौन है? ये है डॉक्टर B.M. हेगड़े, प्रोफेसर ऑफ मेडिसिन, एक ऑथर भी हैं और साथ ही साथ ये डायबिटीज रिसर्च सेंटर के को चेयरमैन भी हैं. मगर
look at him. What did he just do there? He just appealed to the authority of B.M. Hegde, and I think he's trying to conclude that anything he's saying has to be factual. We already know that B.M. Hegde is one of the most prominent pseudoscience promoters out there, especially with alternative medicine. So let's mark appeal to authority there.
इनकी बात आप क्यों मानेंगे? ये तो देसी हैं और घर की मुर्गी दाल बराबर. इनको आप भक्त वक्त बोल के टरका भी देंगे. तो जरूरी है कोई विदेशी ऐसा कुछ बोले. तो ये सुनते हैं.
The Hindu religion is the only one of the world's great faiths dedicated to the idea that the cosmos itself undergoes an immense, indeed an infinite, number of deaths.
By the way, I've talked about what Carl Sagan said in detail. He did not say anything that validates the factuality or the scientific nature of any Hindu scripture. You can check out the video again I did on exactly this in my main channel. Do these scientists think that Hindu scriptures are scientific? That's the title of the video, something like that, I think. You can watch that to get a good idea of this. But again, this is an appeal to authority.
And rebirth.
अब ये पता है कौन है? ये हैं कार्ल सागन. और अगर आप साइंस की बात करते हैं मगर कार्ल सागन को नहीं जानते हैं तो भाई शास्त्रों में आप ही जैसे लोगों के लिए लिब्रांडो शब्द का प्रयोग किया गया है. खैर, कार्ल सागन अमेरिकन,
I think लिब्रांडो he's using the word as an insult, so I'll call that an ad hominem.
कॉस्मोलॉजिस्ट हैं, एस्ट्रोफिजिसिस्ट हैं और आज की कॉस्मोलॉजी और मॉडर्न स्पेस साइंस में इनका काम अद्वितीय है.
Appealing to authority.
कार्ल सागन अपनी किताब कॉस्मोस में लिखते हैं कि हिंदुइज्म इकलौता ऐसा रिलीजन है जिसमें टाइम स्पेस कॉरस्पॉन्ड करता है मॉडर्न साइंटिफिक कॉस्मोलॉजी के हिसाब से.
Okay. Between the word correspond and to those modern scientific cosmology, between those two, exactly in the place where that comma is shown, he says no doubt by accident. in the actual video, you can watch that, he says no doubt by accident. The time scales correspond, no doubt by accident, to those of modern scientific cosmology. Why do he say that? Because Carl Sagan, as a scientist, knows that in order to know something, you need to have evidence. Where did people who wrote these scriptures get the evidence to say that to use these time scales in their scriptures? Simple.
और हिंदुइज्म में एक नॉर्मल दिन रात से शुरू होकर ब्रह्म दिन रात तक जाता है, जो कि
I'm sure this whole thing is especially because that no doubt by accident is not mentioned here. I'm sure this is from some blog of some Hindu supremacist.
टाइम स्पेस होता है 8.68 बिलियन ईयर्स का। सागन अपनी किताब में आगे लिखते हैं कि ये जो टाइम स्पेस है ये सूर्य की एज से भी ज़्यादा लंबा टाइम स्पेस है, अर्थ की एज से ज़्यादा लंबा है और बिग बैंग के समय से आधा टाइम स्पेस है। ये बात एक साइंटिस्ट कह रहा है, ना कि मैं और आप या कोई और भक्त। अब आप सोचिए कि ये सारी इंफॉर्मेशन एक वीडियो के फॉर्म में ना होकर एक इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड की डॉक्यूमेंट्री के फॉर्म में हो, तो आप सोचिए कि उसका इम्पैक्ट, विजिबिलिटी और एक्सेप्टेंस कितना ज्यादा बढ़ जाएगा। अब कुछ ऐसी ही तैयारी हम लोग भी कर रहे हैं अपने नए चैनल्स के साथ, जो कि हिस्ट्री और पॉडकास्टिंग पर बेस्ड है। तो कुछ ऐसी ही डॉक्यूमेंट्रीज हम लेके आएंगे उन चैनल्स में। अब चलिए यहां से हम सीधा चलते हैं कार्ल सागन की किताब कॉस्मोस के पेज नंबर 213-214 पर। और इस पेज में क्या
wait, this looks like another screenshot from that blog. But let's see what's written here. So I'm sure it's a misrepresentation.
लिखा हुआ है जिस पेज में वो लिखते हैं भगवान शिव के नटराज अवतार के बारे में, और नटराज अवतार के बारे में लिखते हुए वो बताते हैं कि ये कॉस्मोस की पूरी जानकारी देने के लिए काफी है। वो
Where do you say that?
बताते हैं कि नटराज अवतार में एक हाथ में, सीधे हाथ में सबसे ऊपर डमरू है, और जो डमरू से ध्वनि पैदा होती है वो सेम ध्वनि है जो क्रिएशन की ध्वनि है। कॉस्मोस का जो क्रिएशन है वो,
you know, he's not being literal with that, right? He's describing the metaphor mentioned in the scriptures. That's what he's doing. The Nataraja form is described this way. That's what he's saying. Oh my God.
कुछ इसी ध्वनि से हुआ है। साथ ही साथ वो ये बताते हैं कि नटराज के लेफ्ट हैंड में एक फ्लेम है, और वो जो फ्लेम है वो बताती है कि यूनिवर्स अभी नया नया क्रिएट हुआ है, वो अग्नि से क्रिएट हुआ है। और साथ साथ वो कहते हैं कि
This guy is a complete idiot. That's what he is. And look at the confidence. Oh, let me correct myself. Look at the arrogance with which he's saying all these things. He's literally giving a description of what's there in the scripture. He's not stating facts. Oh my God, the arrogance of a complete idiot. This is exactly what is the Dunning-Kruger effect. When you initially learn about something, your confidence in that goes way up. And it goes way down as you learn how much more there is to that subject.
करोड़ों सालों के बाद ऐसे ही डिस्ट्रॉय भी हो जाएगा। इसी पेज पर कार्ल सागन आगे लिखते हैं कि जब यूरोपियंस हजारों साल पहले की बिब्लिकल थियोरी की बात करते थे, तब मायंस जो थे वो मिलियंस साल पहले की बात करते थे, और हिंदूज बिलियंस साल पहले की बात करते थे। भैया ये मैं नहीं कह रहा हूँ, ये कार्ल सागन महान साइंटिस्ट कह रहे हैं। कार्ल सागन की एक वीडियो सामने आई, ये नहीं पता कि वो डेट कब थी, कब उन्होंने वो वीडियो बनाई थी, मगर वो वीडियो 15 मिनट लंबी है, और वो वीडियो बात करती है कॉस्मोस के बारे में। वो वीडियो बात करती है केवल और केवल हिंदुइज्म क्या सोचता है कॉस्मोस के बारे में, और उस वीडियो का लिंक मैं आपको नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन में दे दूंगा। चलिए अब कार्ल सागन को छोड़ते हैं और आगे चलते हैं। ये देखिए,
There's so much of science in the Vedic wisdom that the Westerners now are
Same fucking video. Show me something else, bro.
trying to investigate. You go to any Indian university, they read Einstein's book. Einstein is a clerk in the patent office in Bern. But you go to Germany.
Wait, what's he trying to say? A clerk, he was a clerk, so his whatever he wrote was not worth reading? Dude, you do know that he was a clerk, he worked that way to make ends meet, right? He was working on the scientific paper that described relativity.
Do you know what they read? They read the Indian scriptures.
Now I have looked this up. There is no credible or there is no descriptive enough online source that I found where I can read more up about this, but I'm sure this is a huge exaggeration, a blatant lie also. They might be reading it as a form of scripture, whatever, and they probably understand that it's a scripture, not literal scientific facts, but he's trying to represent it that way.
Then president of the Max Planck Institute in Munich, with the best physics institute in the world, Hans-Peter Dürr, a good friend of mine, has got all our scriptures and he quotes these things. Now he has realized E is equal to M. You and I are taught E is equal to MC squared, isn't it? No, E is equal to M. And he calls it as A duality. And he was telling me, what is my nomenclature of A duality? Look at those Indian seers. They called it thousands of years ago as Advaita.
What is E is equal to M? What's he saying? Such an equation cannot be a physical proper equation. It's not even dimensionally correct.
No duality at all. Fascinating, isn't it?
जर्मनी में लोग हमारे स्क्रिप्चर्स को पढ़ रहे हैं.
I don't wanna hear him comment on this.
आर्टिस्ट आपको बताते हैं या फिर यूरोपियंस आपको बताते हैं कि जो स्वास्तिक है ये हिटलर वाला साइन है, मगर कोई आपको ये नहीं बताता कि जो स्वास्तिक है ये हिटलर वाला नहीं है और हिटलर का हुक्ड क्रॉस हुआ करता था, उसका स्वास्तिक से कुछ लेना देना नहीं था. स्वास्तिक जो बनता है वो कैसे बनता है वो बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है. स्वास्तिक बनता है ध्रुव तारे के अराउंड सप्त ऋषि से. सप्त ऋषि 7 तारों का समूह हमारे आकाश गंगा में, और वो साल के अंदर 4 पोजीशंस बदलता है और उन्हीं की पोजीशंस को ध्रुव तारे के अराउंड अगर हम रखते हैं तो बनता है स्वास्तिक. चलिए अब बात करते हैं सदी के सबसे महान साइंटिस्ट की, जिसने हमें टेस्ला.
These are just, normal observations. What is so scientific here? Don't understand. Just because they're talking about stars, it becomes scientific.
कॉइल दिया जिसने हमें ऑल्टरनेट करंट दिया, रेडियो दिया जिसने हमें.
Again, dude, the same screenshot from that same web page, that same website.
फोन दिया, जी हाँ, निकोला टेस्ला की. तो निकोला टेस्ला की ऑटोबायोग्राफी द लाइफ ऑफ निकोला टेस्ला और उनके ऊपर लिखी गई दूसरी किताब द ग्रेटेस्ट अचीवर्स, उनके अंदर निकोला टेस्ला की जब बात करते हैं तो साथ साथ बात करते हैं वैदिक धर्म की. वहीं नील्स हेनरिक डेविड बोर जो कि एक फिजिसिस्ट हैं, डेनिश फिजिसिस्ट हैं, वो अपनी किताब द गॉड इज नॉट वन के पेज नंबर 144 में लिखते हैं कि भाई मेरे को जब भी क्वेश्चंस पूछने होते हैं तो मैं उपनिषद पढ़ता हूँ. मेरे मन में कुछ सवाल आते हैं तो मैं उपनिषद पढ़ता हूँ.
These are all appeals to authority. I think I've talked about all these in my Scientists and Hinduism video, main channel.
योग हमारे पास हजारों सालों से था, मगर जब योग योगा हो गया तब हमने उसके महत्व को पहचाना. जब उसकी एक्सेप्टेंस विदेशों में हो गई तब हमने उसके महत्व को समझा. आज से कुछ साल पहले इंडियन साइंस कांग्रेस ने एक पेपर लिखा और उसमें बताया कि महर्षि भारद्वाज ने प्लेन.
Oh my God, Vimanas. Shit, dude. Already debunked on my channel. I don't have to say it at this point, but can't believe he brought this up.
बनाने की पूरी विधि बता रखी थी और एविएशन के ऊपर.
Actually, must correct myself. I can believe that. I'm not surprised.
हमारे पास 97 बुक्स रखी हुई हैं और साथ ही साथ उसके अंदर 500 गाइडलाइंस हैं कि किस तरीके से प्लेन को बनाना है.
For any skeptics watching this, just consider the fact that no plane, no currently existing aviation body or aircraft manufacturing body uses any of these scriptures, these texts, these 500 guidelines for any of their aircraft. You know why? Because they are physically unfit for designing an aircraft. That book is something that was probably written somewhere around 1900, somewhere around the 18th or 19th century, and claims its origins were from thousands of years before this. And it doesn't even talk about the basics of flight mechanics. I talked about all this in my main channel. You can check out that video.
और उन्होंने ये भी बताया कि प्लेन जो है इसका यूज जो है वो एक कॉन्टिनेंट से दूसरे कॉन्टिनेंट, एक देश से दूसरे देश में जाने के लिए किया जा सकता है, जो कि हवा में उड़ सकता है. और इसी एविएशन स्क्रिप्ट्स के ऊपर साइंस टीवी ने एक डॉक्यूमेंट्री बनाई थी, 2-3 मिनट की डॉक्यूमेंट्री थी, वो आप देखिए.
University of California at Irvine, April 2017.
Oh my god. This is a clip from Ancient Aliens. Yes, the conspiracy theory show. I've talked about this in my first video on Abhi New. You can check that out. Just search Sunset Job Abhi New and you'll get it.
Space engineer Travis Taylor has obtained a model of an aircraft.
उसमें उन्होंने बताया था कि पूरे उसी हिसाब से जैसे इंडियन स्क्रिप्ट्स में लिखा है वैसे प्लेन बनाने का तैयारी किया गया और उसके बाद वो प्लेन हवा में उड़ा भी.
Whose design specifications are based solely on information gleaned from ancient Indian texts that are believed to have been formally set to writing in 500 BC. The aircraft model created using details garnered from the ancient Indian text.
No text actually describes this in this much detail, the 3D model of an aircraft. It's a blatant lie also.
Is it possible that by studying the ancient Indian texts, we may be able to recreate advanced technology that existed thousands of years ago in India?
मगर बड़ी ही आसानी से हम कह देते हैं तू तो भक्त है, तुम्हारे स्क्रिप्चर्स तो मिथ हैं, माइथोलॉजी हैं.
That's actually true, dude. That's actually true. These are scripts, these are mythological scriptures.
कुछ रियलिटी है ही नहीं, साइंस और इसका कुछ लेना देना ही नहीं है. तो भैया ऐसे लोगों को मुंह तोड़ जवाब है ये वीडियो, और ऐसे लोगों के लिए मुंह तोड़ जवाब देने वाली डॉक्यूमेंट्रीज भी हम बनाना चाहते हैं. तो आप हमें सपोर्ट कीजिए. सपोर्ट के लिए लिंक जो है वो डिस्क्रिप्शन में दिया गया है. आप हमारे साथ बने रहिए, देखते रहिए आज की ताज़ा खबर.
Cool. I think that's the end of the video, and that's also the end of this video. And yeah, I will see you in the next one.